Dave Miller. This year marks the 30th anniversary of the Nightmare Factory, a haunted house in Salem. It's the longest-running haunted house in Oregon and one of the longest on the entire West Coast. But that's not the only thing that sets it apart. It's run by the Oregon School for the Deaf. Ed Roberts is a counselor at the school. He helped found the Nightmare Factory in 1987. He is still helping to run it, and he joins me now. Ed, good to have you on the show.
Thanks for having me.
Where did the idea for this haunted house come from?
Well, when I was living in California back in the 80s, worked with several different haunted houses and realized what a great fundraiser they could be. So that's where the idea really came from. I went to the school director at the time and asked him if they would mind us putting up a small haunted house, and here we are 30 years later.
Did he or did anybody say, yes, I can see why this is a good money maker, but is there a meaningful connection between a haunted house and what we do day in, day out? You know, teach deaf students.
Yes, as a matter of fact, the event has actually grown into quite a teaching tool. We now that we're as big as we are, the space covers about 14,000 square feet. We teach all the technical aspects of the haunted house. So the students are learning painting, makeup, set design, lighting. Some are even into the sound design. So it's all kind of ties into an educational component.
You mentioned a little bit about the size there, but in a broader way, I mean, just give us a sense for the scale of this undertaking these days.
Well, we have already finished the design for the remodel for 2018, and we'll begin that remodel come December of this year. So it's an entire year project, and because the students are there, that's a residential school, and the day students are also involved, but it's a residential school, so we take a month off and then we begin construction right in December.
So it's almost a year-round activity, preparing for basically a month in October with a little bit more in November.
That's correct. Yeah.
How much do you have to do to transform the school to put this on?
We don't. The haunted house is in the basement of the boys' residence hall, and so it's there year-round. So to transform it, we don't have to change anything on campus. It's already a designated space.
Do you have to keep it locked so that the students don't explore there in the off-season?
We do. We keep it safe. And there are set times during the week that either myself or my colleague, Kiva Lefebvre, will go down with a group of students and work. So they know that Tuesday night is Nightmare Factory night around 7 o'clock, and those students that are in the Nightmare Factory Club will gather and we'll go down and work on it.
Every year you have a different theme or themes. What are the themes this year?
This year we have Warehouse 87, which is a zombie-infested area. And then we have Mr. Booger's Funhouse, which is everyone's favorite. I made you laugh. Everyone's favorite clowns and creepy dolls.
Clowns. Is that a regular? It's so funny how something... long ago, I guess, people didn't see them as creepy, but now it's hard not to. Although I imagine clowns who have been on the show before hate when people say that, but still, yeah. I will say that. Are they a regular now for you?
They are. We try not to, we play on people's fears. We research with our student group phobias, and so we try to play on phobias. So while there might be, clowns within this space, there are other things that people are afraid of, like spiders or tight spaces or the unknown. We try real hard to create our own characters, our own creatures, so that we're also not really copying from TVs or the movies.
Although I did read that, and I hope this doesn't give anything away.
That's fine. No, you're good. I know what you're going to do.
Something, okay. I think the Statesman Journal had something about Stranger Things this year. What are you going to be doing?
A Stranger Things influence in one small space, yes. And that'll be all I will tell you. There is just an influence. The show is so well done and so well written, we couldn't ignore that it's taken the genre of horror and gone in an amazing direction.
How many people come by on any given night these days?
Well, we'll see anywhere between 800 to maybe 1,500 to 1,600 in an evening.
Wow, how does that compare to what you had in the first couple of years?
Well, the first year we had about just about 1,000 people, maybe. the whole run of the haunt.
Oh, wow. So significantly bigger.
Yes, sir.
My understanding is that part of that has to do with the effect that having the reality television show Extreme Makeover Home Edition feature you back, 7 years ago, that had an impact. What did they do, and how big an impact did it have?
Well, of course, it had an impact on attendance. It kind of put us on the map. But it also, they poured concrete floors. The haunt itself used to be on a dirt basement. Now it's concrete floors. They gave us a whole bunch of walls and technical stuff that we could have probably been able to afford over time, but now we have them.
Did it also help spread the word just in terms of people knowing about you?
Yeah, so that's on the map. People know us now. There are still people around Oregon that don't know of us, but we're a lot more popular than we used to be.
Are there specific challenges for young people who are hearing impaired in putting this on? I'm thinking not about the physical work, but about taking part in this when the people are going through.
Not really. We designed the haunt so that it's sort of free of visual barriers, or that the actor placement is such that they can see you coming, but you can't see them. Not trying to give away too many secrets, but we design our haunt to be accessible to anyone. So regardless whether the student has a hearing impairment or a hearing impairment plus, they can participate. Everyone has an opportunity in high school and our adult transition program to participate in the haunted house. And so in the design phase, we make sure that everyone is aware of their surroundings or can see whether or not a customer is coming.
Do you ever get scared when you go yourself?
No.
It's as simple as that.
No.
Would you get scared in somebody else's haunted house if you didn't know all the tricks and twists?
There are a few haunted houses out there that have got me, but because you're a haunter, you do. We research this year round. It's like we're always one step ahead of the latest thing. Every once in a while, someone will do something that is amazing, and you're like, "Oh, that was great! I wish I'd thought of that first."
But it's that kind of a reaction as opposed to jumping up.
Oh, no. Well, I can't recall anything recently, but there have been haunts that have made me jump, and then you stop and go, that was great. Dang it. Wish I'd thought of that first,
Ed Roberts, thanks very much for joining us.
Hey, you betcha.
Ed Roberts is one of the founders of the Nightmare Factory, a counselor at the Oregon School for the Deaf. The Nightmare Factory is open now through Halloween, plus the weekend after at the Oregon School for the Deaf.